Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Here's an easy meal that I'm prepping, put together. It can be like a shelf meal, a meal in a bag, and I'm preparing this one to take out to Granny Camp, which is my Alaska off-grid cabin. This is a beefy noodle dish. What goes into my beefy noodles? About 4 ounces of egg noodles, because that's what fits in my jar, and I need them in an airtight container that's sealed up so that no critters can get into it. Packet of the Lipton beef onion soup mix, 2 servings of beef bouillon, and a can of beef gravy. This meal also requires about 2.5 cups of water that I've portioned out just to remind myself. It's a good idea, especially if you're preparing emergency meals, that you take into account the water that you're going to need to prepare your meal. Now, mason jars are nice. Some of them have the increments already embossed on the jar, so you can use it as a measuring cup if you're out camping or you don't have a measuring cup. So I have about 2.5 cups of water to go with my beefy noodle dish. When I prepare my shelf meals or meals in a bag, I like to portion out the seasonings and spices into a little container, and that goes in the bag with the food. Gallon Ziploc bags are a simple way to organize your meals. You can put your ingredients right into the bag, and then I've even included a little slip of paper that tells me that it's beefy noodles and it needs 2.5 cups of water. And now it's ready to go. So then when I want to prepare the meal, I take everything out of the bag, put it into a pot, and then I can reuse the bag later. This bag is ready to go to camp. Or you could set it in your pantry and you have an easy grab and go meal that you can prepare without any thinking. My Coleman Model 400A stove that has been one of my favorites for decades. I've been limping along with it, but it's finally not willing to work anymore. It won't hold the pressure, and I can't keep maneuvering it. And so now I'm replacing it with a little butane stove. These are very inexpensive. They're easy to find. You can easily replace the canisters and get cooking. So that's what I'm going to be using for a while out here at Granny Camp. You load your canister, lock it in, turn it to ignite, and it's ready to go. It's great. All right, I've got my pot. I have my water. Let's get this cooking. I have the water, the beef onion soup mix, two bouillon cubes, and luckily my can of gravy has a pull top, so I don't have to use that janky can opener. I like to get my liquids nice and hot before I add the noodles. I just think they cook better that way. One of the decisions that I made about food storage towards the beginning of the pandemic was when meat prices were skyrocketing and perhaps you either couldn't afford it or couldn't find the meat you want. So I tried to find ways to have meat without actually having big pieces of meat. And that's how I decided to utilize foods like cans of gravy and soup mixes and beef bouillon. You can get a full beefy flavor so that you can be satisfied with the beef maybe that you don't have. So that's one of my choices for some meat alternatives. Mixture's getting hot. I'm going to pour in my egg noodles. Cook it on a simmer until the noodles are done. So depending on how long your noodles take, that's how long your recipe takes. It's simple. Okay, my noodles are done. They're saucy. Look, Teddy's waiting patiently for his serving. It's almost ready. It's raining outside, so I hope you can still see well enough of what I've been doing here at Granny Camp. So there it is, beefy noodles. It's a little bit salty, and so if salt is a concern, perhaps you want to omit the bouillon cubes. All I need is a side of fresh veggies and dinner is served. So I hope you enjoy this recipe, whether you're taking it camping or you're setting it aside as a shelf meal or a meal in a bag. Let me know what you think about it, and if you have any other ideas of meals that you think would be great for meals in a bag and maybe to have out at Granny Camp. I hope you'll share my video, like my video, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel. Yummy.